enjoying a bone inside a cage, but she can get out. Okay. This is Lightning, my other rescue. He runs. He runs toward the fireworks rather than away. Now, what I got for you is well, I got something for you. Maybe. Okay. We're gonna feed the birds. What birds do we have to feed? What kind of birds we got? Ooh. Oh my, that looks like a bunch of birds right there, huh? Okay. And oh, that's a sunset. That's an Arizona sunset. It was 110. I'm doing this at 7 o'clock or so, and we've dropped a few degrees. It's 107. Okay, we got some more birds out. Sorry for this. Somebody had a bone out here, and oh yeah, see all these birds coming in? These guys kind of like they're at sundown. They're here a lot. And look at this. This is my boy, my little girl. She doesn't eat birds anymore. I trained her and him not to eat birds. And there's plenty of birds definitely to be eaten. Okay, so I'm sorry, but we've got all these little birds out here that are waiting to be fed. Now, normally, I spread this out, but not today. You know why? Because I got to finish up. There you go, guys. Let's see how they do. Oh my goodness! Look at these guys go. They're starving birds. Yeah, well, a lot of pigeons, and of course we got ring-necked doves. Okay, so these are all the birds that are going to be eating most of the feed I just gave them. The other ones are going to have to come in. They're a little shy. Okay. Oh, look at that. That is Lightning eating Lumina's bone. And that's what happens. Sometimes dogs, they eat each other's bone. But at least so long as you got enough bones. And there's another bone, so it's not like they're starving here. Okay, so what I'm going to do, okay, no more birds up there. I got to go sit down. I'm doing a live on where I left off yesterday. Well, it was actually, sorry for that. I got to get rid of that piece of stuff. Okay, so what do we got? Let's turn this around. Here we go. This is Uncle Martin live. I can't believe this. This guy here. Oh my goodness. Sorry for the interruption. I just gotta get rid of him. Okay, this one. This little girl's getting that one. Yeah, that's Lumina. And oh yeah, she really enjoys that. Get out of here. Go, 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 go. And then we got this guy. That's Lightning. He's yet another goodie. So what I want to say is, I left off on 4th of July without telling you the whole thing of what was going on, and at the end, I didn't have any bars left. It was like 6% that I had to work with, and I didn't have. It kind of fried out on me, and so that was like 5 o'clock. So I had to wait until 2 days later to finish the story that I had for you. Okay. And oh boy, oh, there's my glasses. Somebody took my glasses out of my pocket. Somebody's talking to me here. Oh gosh, sorry for the delay here, but let's see what we got here. I'm gonna finish on the 4th of July story that I had for you. It cut out on me, all right, and it wasn't right. So that's why I'm coming back to finish the story. The true story. Hey, Fabrizosa, beautiful style, thank you. And Lunar, love, your dogs are super cute. Oh, bless your heart. And Fabergé, the car. Yeah, the car you probably saw, well, either was a 1970 Volkswagen my dad bought when it was brand new. And I've rebuilt it twice. Well, actually 3 times. But that would be another story. Okay, how's Mr. Martin today? Mitch, 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 I'm doing well by God's grace. So what I gotta say is, it's 107 in Arizona. Hopefully nobody's in New York with no electricity. Can't go there. It's too negative. Although I have not turned on my air conditioner or my swamp cooler this year, as I did not last year. And I got one on that, and it's called The Game. If you ever go down to my lives and check out The Game, I'll tell you a lot about Uncle Martin. But we're going with just what I left off on July 4th, a couple days ago. I'm finishing the story, that's all. Just this guy's pantsing away. I had to give him a cookie. So what I was talking about was I went to 20 schools. I went to 20 schools when I graduated, but the lighthouse went off for Uncle Martin when I was 10 years of experience. Okay, buddy boy, this is your last cookie. Now go. He's not going anywhere. He knows I have more. I went to 4 different 4th grades. Now that would be a miracle in itself that I got through those 4th grades. But what I learned at 10 years of experience, a lighthouse went off. And that's what I was talking about before I got cut off on my last episode of Being Live. What I was talking about was when you go to 4 different 4th grades and you have the same stinking test, the exact same test, 4 times in a row, well, you think you would get better at the test, right? That's what I thought. Did not happen that way. So, Raritan, New Jersey, I had a B on Christopher Columbus, who discovered America. Does anybody remember that? Does anybody remember who discovered America? I think the Egyptians did, and probably before them the Atlanteans, but I can't go there right now. I'm just putting it out there as some possibility. When I went down to the Grand Canyon, it's called the Forbidden Zone, and they got big. I'm stopping right now. I will do that another time. I'm just going with what awakened me at 10 years of experience, that maybe the schools are not telling you everything that you should know. That's all. So the first 4th grade I had was Raritan, New Jersey. I got a test of who discovered America. I got a B. Then the next 2,500 miles away in Scottsdale, Arizona, Tonalea, I had the same test and I had the same grade, B. But after that report card, we went 2,500 miles down Route 66 to New Jersey, Triangle School, which I got a B plus. And why would that be? Why would you get a B Why would you get a B and then a B plus? Why would you get that? Well, I'll tell you why. Because there was new evidence at that time. I'm going to give myself away. 1964, they found the shoreline of New Jersey, which I lived in New Jersey. They found the helmet and the shield of Vikings that washed up ashore on the shoreline. And then down the road in Boston, there was a, hey, you got to go lay down, buddy boy. I know it's not happening. In Boston, there was a stove from the Vikings just down the road from New Jersey on the shoreline. This is 1964. This is big headlines. So the current event that I had in my 4th grade was that the same test. I put down Christopher Columbus rediscovered America. Leif Erikson, the Vikings were here first. I do believe I put Leif Erikson. I believe he was here at that time. I got a B plus. So after that, I go back after that report card back to Arizona. I would say I'm in New Jersey. 2,500 miles back to Arizona. And I'm in a school to where I'm getting not the third, but the fourth test that is identical to the other three that I just had. I had a B, and a B plus. Now, I should have told my teacher, Mrs. Humphrey, I've had this 3 times. Give me something new. I didn't. It was negative. See, in my mind, I thought I was going to get an A. But I didn't get an A on the other 3 because there was red check marks. I had 2 wrong. Now, that's the thing I'm trying to get across to kids. Anybody's watching. Whenever you have something wrong on your test, it's a red check mark. Look it up. Please look it up. You look it up and you find the right answer. I didn't do that. I didn't do it. So what I found is that when I put down on my 4th identical test that I just took 3 times, I figured I'd get at least a B plus. Didn't happen. I got a D minus, and I have parents that are teachers. I would get a black belt if I went back home with a D minus. Dad wanted at least B's from me, and well, math wasn't very positive for me, but he wanted at least a B. Mom wanted me to go to college. Dad said I should get a trade school, but that's another story. I'm just saying, when I bring back the D minus to my parents, I tell them that the teacher is wrong. Mom said, and Dad said, no, you never say a teacher's wrong. Mom said, you always ask for them to reassess your grade. And she says, by the way, I have that current event that we have on your B plus. So you give it to her, Mrs. Humphrey. You give it to her and you say, please reassess my grade. Okay. I said, yeah, okay. So I go back to school because I thought I was getting a black belt, but they both understood that, I did the best I could. I just followed what was being pumped into me as a child. So I go back and Mrs. Humphrey says, well, I said, please reassess my grade. And she says, no. I said, why not? She says, because. And I said, but I got this current event, a current event that says the Vikings were here first. She says, oh yeah, I read that already. I said, you read it already? Well, then just give me more than a D minus. And she said, no. I said, no. She said, I already know about this information. Your fault was not following what was in the book. I said, at that point, I knew this lady. She was one of those people that goes by the book. And what happens is these people that go by the book, see, you go by the book. There is the law, okay, the law. Then there is the spirit of the law. Now, the spirit of law, when you're able to have a certain amount of understanding of life, you see the spirit of the law is something that overrides the law. And in my case, I had information that showed that the book was wrong, but she didn't care, see. Some teachers, some professors are that way. They teach you things that are in the book, and you got to follow the book. If you don't follow what's in the book, heck, I've been to so many jobs, different jobs, and they got, big old stacks of stuff. Certain things you got to follow. The rules, got to follow the rules. But there's the spirit of the law that override those rules. And some people will never understand that, and that's what it comes down to. Um, it's very unfortunate, but it's just a way of life. So when I said to my teacher, "Oh, I have to follow what's in the book," I pretended that I knew what she was talking about, and I understood. See, that's what she said. Do you want an A? Do you want an A? And kids, anybody out there, you go to school, you want an A, especially if you have parents that are teachers. Of course, you want an A. Well, how do you play the game? Is what it comes down to. How do you play the game? Well, follow what's in the book. Now, my other point would be, you can follow what's in the book, but you don't believe what's in the book. You just play the game and do what you have to get an A. And then from there, whatever the book has to say or whatever anyone's pumping into you, put it aside and say, well, I don't believe this stuff until I apply it. And once you apply it, then you can see whether it has any merit to it. Okay, and that's what it comes down to in life. You get fed a lot of stuff that is not, it's misinformation, and you don't know this until you apply it, and that's what it comes down to. So when she said, "Do you want an A?" I said, "Yeah, I want an A. I want to know. I want an A." She says, "Well, follow what's in the book." I said, "Oh, that's how the game's played." "Oh, absolutely." So from then on, I got B's and A's because I followed what was in the book, but I didn't believe anything about it. You know what I mean? Maybe you do or don't. So I had 4 fourth grades. I went to 20 schools. Now the lighthouse went off for Uncle Martin at 10 years of experience, that I saw that this stuff that they're feeding me is misinformation. And because when I told her, I said, this is current events. This is stuff that's factual. This is stuff. She says, "Yeah, I know. I already read that. But you got to follow what's in the book." So I knew that she didn't care what facts were of truth. She wanted me, and that's when I said, this book is a lie. And she says, "Well, you got to still follow it." And I said, "Well, yeah." And she said, "Do you want an A?" I said, "Yeah, I want an A." So I said, "Okay." And then I said, "Why would they not change the book to the truth?" She says, "Do you know how much money, how many millions of dollars it would cost to change this book and republishing it?" What? I said, "Well, I never thought about that, but I thought about the truth. Why wouldn't you want the kids to know the truth?" And that was at 10 years of experience. So from that point on, I had to go I had to go through another 16 schools to graduate, which I did. And after that, I started really reading about, like the Book of the Dead, of the Egyptians, Sanskrit, and a lot of other stuff that I find very informative that a lot of kids aren't getting to know, which I will go into at another time. I'm sorry that I haven't talked to anybody yet. I was just trying to get some stuff out of the way that I was missing for you. Okay, the car. You like the car. Okay. What kind of car is that? Fabrizoi, the one you're looking at probably is that one there. That one is my '70 Volkswagen, but I got a 2006 Lincoln. It's only got like 36,000 miles on it. That's pretty cool. Lincolns they don't make anymore. By the way, it's one of the better rides. That's just something to throw out there. Okay, what else we got? Okay. Hey, Michigan, how's Uncle Martin today? I am well by God's grace. Thank you. And Michigan, 20 schools. Military folks? No, come on. Military folks, you can have that, but my situation, I had parents that had, we had our family in New Jersey and Arizona between, I think it was more dad than mom, but we had to go back and forth for different reasons at this time, all I can say. Okay, hey Jeff, that's rather negative. If you got gas, Jeffrey, Jeff, if you got gas, I got something for you. Peppermint tea or spearmint tea. So we have situations in life to where we have to confront our fears and things that have been given to us, whether they be positive, negative, are they truthful? And it comes down to really our experience in life to what we apply. When we apply what we think to be true, we believe it to be true. And then we actually apply it, then we will find that whether it be a positive or negative thing. And that's what I'm trying to get across right now to any kids or people who are out there in college or whatever. They're going to feed you a lot of misinformation. So you can get your A by following what's in the book. But when it comes down to it, don't believe Butkus, man, until you apply it. That's all. And once you apply it, you'll really see how it turns out to be a positive or negative thing. Okay, so what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? I want another cookie. Hello, Uncle Martin. Hey, Omar Matt. Here's a little cookie. Little cookie eater. Here. Another cookie eater. Hey, little cookie eater. Here's a cookie. Come here. These are my rescues. So anybody that's left with Uncle Martin, it's about 21 minutes. Sign up and be a subscriber. I'll subscribe to you. If not, that's fine. At least give me a thumbs up or down. And what I find is that a lot of people sign up and then they drop off. That's fine. I'll still stay with you. But when I'm done with this episode, as with any of my episodes, I have all the comments that I don't have any access to. So once I post this, if you could leave your comment, I'll get back to you. All right, that's what it comes down to. I don't know how this works, but YouTube is kind of crazy on this stuff. So until we see each other again, hopefully I answered the right questions for y'all that you wanted to know. If not, get back to me and I'll get back to you. At least give me a thumbs up or down, all right? Be well. God victory. Look at this little sweetheart. Yeah, it's my Lumina. One more cookie for you. Oh no, I don't have any cookies. I got a cashew. She loves cashews. Be well. God victory. Can I turn this off?